Hello, everybody. It is great to be here one more time today. And my name is Gary Fowler. I'm the CEO, president, and founder of GSD Get Shit Done Venture Studios, a premier AI and quantum venture studio located in the heart of Silicon Valley. I'm a 17-time serial entrepreneur with several unicorns under the belt. I was on the original management team of Click Software, which was sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion, also Eva.ai. We believe at GSD that intellectual capacity is evenly spread around the world, but opportunities are not. With that, I have an incredible guest today. So Eric Pai is the chief business officer of AI for Pets. He's got a diverse background. Went to Rutgers University for psychology and finance degree. Interesting combination. We're gonna have to talk about that. He went to IESE for his MBA and also to the Stern School. He's got a background for everything from Unilever to making a dent in the universe. So the AI for Pets, the mission is to drive growth through strategic partnerships and innovative market expansion. This company is a forerunner, front runner, and being able to use these incredible diagnostic tools to help us to be able to have our pets live longer and better lives. And by the way, it's not just for pets. There's all kinds of other things can happen. So with that, I'd like to bring Eric on board. Hi, Eric. How are you today?
Hey, Gary, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
So now, how do you go down through? You did Unilever, but you're also a real estate agent. How in the world do you make a transition, from real estate to AI for pets?
Yeah, it's a great question. I started my career in marketing. I worked at Unilever, Kind, and some of the bigger CPG companies, really to help grow the business from a revenue and a financial forecasting perspective. COVID happened, right? And like most people, there's been a lot of shifts and transitions in kind of what I wanted to do. My family was always involved in real estate. We've owned multiple multifamily units in New Jersey and New York, and we decided, hey, why not continue this? And I moved out here on the West Coast, currently living here in the Silicon Valley. And then a great opportunity came up where I was talking with the CEO of AI for Pet and realized that this is such a unique and much needed solution for pet owners, not just in the US, but globally. And so I took on the role of the chief business officer managing the US business. And here I am speaking with you.
So how does it go? So you have an in-depth knowledge of the Korean language. So tell a little bit about the origin story for AI for Pets.
Absolutely. So the CEO and I both have dogs, right? And I've got two rescues from the Humane Society here from Milpitas. And what we realized was there's a need and a demand that pet parents don't have early signs of detection for their health. And so for their pets at home who's just sitting there and maybe you realize something's wrong, you don't see those issues unless you go to the doctor, unless you take them to a vet or have to do some sort of diagnostic. And so this was a solution really created out of a real need. And I realized that this is a solution that we can bring to every dog, every cat to start. And we're actually developing gait analysis for horses. So this can continue on, as you mentioned earlier, that expands beyond just our small pets.
Yeah, so I mean, you look at it, and the pets can't talk, and they can't tell you that they've got cancer, they got a sore in their stomach. So you're going down through, but what about transitioning this over to humans? Because we have the same issue sometimes with humanity, right? We have the same kind of challenges. You don't know what you don't know. So how's that going to work?
It's a great point, Gary. I think the opportunity really lies in finding out what those pain points are. When we were interviewing and talking with a lot of pet parents, the big thing for them is that they don't know, like you said, the pet's speaking to them. They can't tell them how they're in pain or in stress. Many times they have to spend a lot of money to take care of their veterinary costs. So that is going to be a big stressor that we can take away and alleviate when it comes to money, time, and stress. But not even that. I think the experience of preventative care and helping pet parents feel peace of mind is going to be a big one. Of course, this will evolve into bigger things and expand into different verticals. And we're certainly looking into that right now. I think the big problem we're trying to solve is bringing peace of mind and hopefully some happiness and health for both pets and pet parents.
Now, how does this work? So if you go down through, I know that we all believe, right, that our pets deserve the best care because they're part of our family. But when you use this, let's just say with the eyes, how do you go down and use this early detection to look at, you know, issues, right? And what kind of issues can you detect? And, how broad does this get? Because if you look at it, there's, what percentage of the population in the US has dogs, right? It's got to be over 3/4 of the population today, right? So it's a huge market. But how does it work? So do you take your phone and you take a picture of the dog's eyes or mouth or teeth? How does it work?
Yeah, so 90 million pet households here in the US. That's over 70% of the US now own households. 25 million of that was added during COVID. Uh, there's a very big gap in preventative care. Only 40% go to the doctors once a year. And imagine that in human years, that's every 7 years, which sounds ridiculous. And so you want more access to veterinary care and preventative care. The way we work our AI solution is providing an easy access tool using your mobile device to scan and take photos where we've already pre-labeled over 2.5 million images trained in our AI model to be able to detect those clinical signs. And so eye specifically is a big issue here in the US. And as you can imagine, as the dogs get older, glaucoma or cataract becomes an issue. And so we're able to detect over 10 clinical signs. And these 10 clinical signs can then be transferred into a pre-diagnostic tool where the veterinarians can then take to further diagnose. This is really a way for pet parents to know how their pets are feeling. Are there any issues? Are there any concerns? Is it urgent? But B, it's for veterinarians to also have access to it without them having to always have and come into the vets. And so this is actually a tool for pre-diagnostic. It can also be used inside the veterinarian clinics as well.
So it can be used for pre-diagnostic. And you're looking at things. I know we talk about the teeth, right? I know we talk about the eyes, but how wide does this get? What else? And skin, right? I know I had a Shar Pei one time, long time ago, and he had skin problems like crazy. And so how does it work? So you take the picture. Does it go to your veterinarian? Does it go? Do you just have it to know there's a problem, or how? What's the chain to be able to solve? Let's say there is a problem. What happens next?
Yeah, so we're a B2B software company. We would license our software to pet businesses and veterinarians and professionals to use this as a pre-diagnostic tool. One of the biggest opportunities right now is personalizing the healthcare aspect for pets. And of course, everyone is looking for nutrition, everyone's looking for supplements. We can use our data by scanning the eye, skin, teeth, and gait currently to check for lameness, to personalize the data for further insights. And so, for example, if a pet professional at a boarding center wanted to, find out, okay, of how many dogs have health skin issues, right? And we see skin issues all the time. Working with our customers. And so they can take the picture. We have an AI model that can autofocus and snapshot the actual image for the perfect analysis in that perfect moment. Our second AI model will do the actual analysis to get to 95% accuracy of the labeled clinical sign. And so that takes about 15 to 20 seconds. After that happens, they bring back the results, and the professional, the veterinarian, or the pet parent, whoever that may be, will be able to use that health result for further analysis.
And so, you look at it, I mean, with a wide market worldwide. I know you started in Korea. So how does this? So how is it in Korea right now? I mean, how wide is the distribution, and what are your plans for the rest of the world?
Yeah, like you said, we started this journey 4 years ago. And Korea was obviously the perfect pilot market just because it's highly competitive. It's saturated, and if you can survive in Korea, you can survive anywhere. We've started actually with a different business model, which was D2C, where we were having a platform of marketplace and bringing in different players. We've gathered around 160,000 users. We've had over 1.4 million actual AI scans where they were taking photos, and we were able to detect quite a number of different clinical issues to help facilitate consultations. And so we actually are the first in Korea to be the teleconsulting approved by the government as a software. The other markets are really dependent on the veterinarian landscape and the pet care landscape. And so, for example, in the US, we are partnering with the top tiered pet businesses. And that's in the nutrition vertical, that could be in the supplement vertical, the boarding and grooming, and of course, veterinarian and clinics. They will be our main hands and feet and our really distribution network for our AI solution. In other markets like Brazil or Japan, it's very much veterinarian focused. We are focusing on reaching out to the veterinarians to make sure they have this AI solution in hand to increase credibility with our pet parents in those markets. So markets are going to be different. The pet parents are going to be different. So we're going to be very cognizant of how we approach that in the future.
Excellent. So you've won a lot of awards. I see that you've won uh, awards from the Korean government. I see you've gotten funding. I see you've gotten. So how does that go on? So was it Yuna started the company, correct?
Yes. So Una is the CEO, and she started this again 4 years ago. She's got 25 years experience in LG big data, leading the big data team. And yeah, fortunately, we were able to receive accolades and recognition along the way. CES, we just received our third innovation award for our TT Care equine solution. We've also received many pet innovation awards for, again, just really for being the forerunner and the front runner of uh, this this solution. Um,
Eric, we're back.
All right, we're back. I lost
Yeah,
you
I
there.
don't know what happened out here. I am in Palo Alto by Stanford. Sometimes this
Oh,
stuff goes down. Well. Anyhow, we'll splice it together so it's not a big deal. So my team will go down through. Don't worry about it. But it's funny because the some of the worst internet connection points for me are in Northern California. It's unbelievable. I don't know. There's so many people
unbelievable.
on it or whatever. The infrastructure's old. Anyhow, let's go down through. We were talking about the Korean government. We're talking about these amazing awards that you guys have won. So, um, you know, was it Iyuna had the vision because of her own pets, and you said she came from LG with big data. So going forward, what's your vision? So you have the U.S. market. Of course, people love their pets here. How do you see that market, and where do you really see it going from here?
The U.S. is obviously the biggest market. You see $60 billion spent on pets alone every year. That's increasing by 9% CAGR every year. We're seeing a big transition from pets being just another extension to really being part of the family now. And so pets are going to be even more focused on, and their health is going to be even more prioritized. I've got two dogs myself, and they're not cheap. And so
I just spent $20,000 on my basset hound. So I got to tell you, and the thing is, Eric, when they're more than a pet, they're part of your family. You'll do whatever you got to do. It's for you. Those of you out there, look at pet insurance because it's not a bad thing, and make sure you read the fine print.
Yeah, I highly recommend pet insurance. I've got pet insurance myself for the two dogs. Would not, it's like you have insurance for your car, your health. Your pets are definitely going to need insurance, especially with the complications that my dogs have. But anyways, we are excited because the awards, of course, they're all great. CES have been great, and really have been giving us a lot of exposure and publicity. We won the Unicorn Grand Finale, and you were one of the judges, Gary, which I think helped tremendously. And out of 1,500 startups, we were able to achieve that first place. And so we know that there's a really great need for this. The solution is really going to be a no-brainer here. I think it's all about how do we execute this and how do we build the trust with the pet parents. As many pet parents are still skeptical about using technology, we want to bridge that gap, showing that this is actually going to make their lives easier. By taking photos, which they do every single day, there's millions of photos of pets.
Well, I think you take more pictures of your pet than you do your significant other. You know,
I hear that that's the case, and people would rather spend time with their pets than their partners, which that might be another issue to tackle.
Well, I mean,
Um,
they're part of the family, right? You get love and unconditional love from your pet. And, a lot of times they don't ask for that much in return. They just want to make sure you're there with them and keep them company and they keep you company. So I remember when my dad had a stroke, I bought him in the Basset Hound, Sonny, and they said we'd never walk and talk again, Eric. And my father, uh, in 7 days, they said that he's probably going to pass. In fact, they were telling me I had to come from California back to Pennsylvania. Anyhow, I told my dad, he hadn't talked for a few days. And I said to him I would buy him a basset hound. And he said, "You promise?" And I didn't think he would say anything. I said, "Oh, yeah, I would have said anything, a Rottweiler or anything." And the reason a basset hound is because he had a couple when I was a kid. And he said, I want a brown and white female. They're friendlier. And I said, "Oh, yeah, sure." So I got him it, and he walked and talked again in 2.5 months. So the value for all of us out there, the value of our pets is more than just having a companion for us. There's a therapeutic impact that they have in our lives. People live longer, they live better quality lives, right? You have somebody that cares about you and you can take care of. So I'm all in on this thing. So you got the skin, the eyes, and the teeth. Which one of those are the most people look at the most? Do they what is the most important for pet owners?
I mean, I would say all of them, right? It's a full comprehensive body scan that we're trying to tackle here. We started with the eyes and skin just because it has the most data available, and we work with university partners in Seoul National University, which is accredited UMA, and Ohio State University. The biggest claim actually here in the US is surprisingly skin issues. And so a lot of pets have these skin issues, and we want to make sure that pet parents know this early on, and so it doesn't become a big issue. And
Like
then,
what kind of issues, Eric? What kind of issues does this early detection does it flag?
I mean, the biggest one is lichenification, right? It could be anything dealing with rashes or infections, and it can eventually lead to actual serious surgeries. The skin problems can actually be dealt with a lot of different supplements and a lot of different remedies that can easily prevent some of the bigger visits that you'll see if they're being ignored and dismissed. Um, what we're trying to focus on, though, is actually the gait analysis, which has been coming out, which will be coming out in January. We're revealing that at CES. We'll have an innovation booth. Um, the way that current vets are using this now is using a machine called Strideway, which is about $150,000 to $200,000. Only 5% of veterinarians actually own and operate this machine, and it's very, very time intensive to use. We're able to now take a video, a 5-second snapshot of your pet walking, and be able to detect lameness, which means before the issues become worse, we can have early prevention. And so this is really a way for pet parents to use this at home. Like you said, again, taking videos and photos of their pets.
Yeah, I
With
mean,
their
the issues before their problems, right? That's the whole thing, is issues before their problems. Catch them early, before they're going to cost you a lot of money and before you may have to put a horse down, right? Because of these issues.
Yeah, and it's not just the money part here we're talking about. We're talking about the peace of mind, and we're talking really about your emotional family member. And we want to make sure that we're providing this as a way for any family member to live longer and healthier. And just like we have tools to live better, and we go to our doctors for visits, we want to shorten that span of how often they go to the doctors by being able to do this really anytime, anywhere, at home, in the park, maybe on a trip.
No, I agree with you. And that's the thing, is continuous monitoring is important. Sometimes we forget it's not about taking a dog to the vet once a year. It's about how to monitor it, because what happens if you go to the vet, you don't see a skin problem, and a week later it starts, and you got another, 11 and a half months before you get over to the vet to check it out. And then that's when the problem. So continuous monitoring is important, and having tools like AI for Pet to be able to do that is a way that, what's going to happen. It's going to happen for humans, right? It's going to happen for pets. It's going to happen all through our lives. Continuously monitor so we can correct before there's issues. So look at it. So what do you see for 2025 for AI for Pet? Where do you see that going? And what are you looking for from the audience out there? So we've got folks from all over the world that are watching the show. What can you say to them about how they can get involved, and where they can get these tools to be able to help their pets?
I mean, we've got a really packed schedule, starting with a lot the CES event, where we'll be meeting a lot of business partners and investors. So we'd love to meet folks there.
Yeah.
We'll also be
So
at
the
DNS.
CES event, when is that going to be?
That's January 6th to the 10th. That's held in Vegas every year. It's the largest tech symposium where the biggest tech companies as well as the new startups are also there. We're going to be based in Eureka Park, and I'll be happy to set up meetings with potential investors and business partners. We will also be having a booth at VMX. So VMX is the Veterinary Medical Exhibition. It's the largest pet conference, from veterinarians, pet professionals to groomers, you name it. Everyone is there if you know about the pet business. And so we will also be exhibiting there. We'd love to meet folks who are going to visit. And that's going to be in Florida. So maybe, Gary, you can swing by. And I can.
Yeah. Where's it going to be in Florida?
It's going to be in Orlando.
When is it?
That's January 26th to the 29th.
That sounds great. So closing thoughts, Eric, and how do people reach out to you?
Yeah, I mean, we're ultimately on a mission to help pets live healthier and longer. We'd love for anyone passionate about the pets and their pet lives to join us in this mission. You can reach myself at eric@aiforpet.com. You can follow us on our socials, AI for Pet, and also visit our website, aiforpet.com. And if you have, folks who are really passionate about engaging with the pet ecosystem, reach out. We'd love to talk.
Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. And thanks to all of you for joining one more time. GSD Presents Silicon Valley AI and Tech. My name is Gary Fowler. I'm your host. Stay happy, stay safe, and stay healthy. And we'll be back with another exciting edition. AI for Pet is an incredible company that's making a dent in the universe and bringing our pets closer to us to be able to help them because they can't help themselves. So, Eric, hats off to you, and hats off to all of you again one more time. See you again next week for another exciting edition. Thanks, everybody.